Now, Khacha is the kind of fighter, he doesn't train like an athlete. He doesn't quite have the strict training regime of many mixed martial arts athletes.
Well, I know the Shivo brothers personally, and when I spoke to them about Khacha, they told me that they had to force him to lift weights because it's not something he does. He doesn't run a lot, he doesn't lift weights, he just comes down to the gym and train.
Well, he's doing extremely well because of this. I mean, do you think in a couple of years' time, if this young lad was to, you know, to really redesign his training regime and to put in that effort, you know, he could be an absolute tear-up within the, you know, the welterweight division.
This young lad has a bright future ahead of him. I mean, what we're seeing here is a 19-year-old. He has already taken out one of the top fighters in the UK, in Paul Jenkins. He's taken on brown belt Alex D'Souza, and again, we're seeing a dominating performance against very probably the top 77-kilo fighter in the UK.
Indeed, and landing another couple of hard elbows to the head of that man who is 20 years older than Khacha. Now, age is not a factor in respect that, you know, it is the fact of the young gun coming up against a wily old veteran here. I mean, Cooper is one of the best conditioned fighters out there on the circuit so far.
Absolutely, I've never seen Andy Cooper get tired.
No, he will go for the 3 rounds non-stop. He does not gas. He's extremely strong, like you said, even though he doesn't have that that build that you would associate with somebody having the what to say. And the end of the first round, a hugely dominant performance from Khacha there. He calmly walks back to his corner, knowing that he's had a great round.
Khacha is breathing a little heavily, and this is the first time he's had to go to the second round.
Now, I can see there's a lot of closure there on Cooper's right eye.
A little mouse underneath his right eye there. Will it be a factor later in the fight?
Well, it could possibly be. I mean, if Khacha manages to pin him down again in mount and land some more hard strikes, then you know, we could see possibly a technical knockout due to you know, Cooper being able to continue due to injury.
Absolutely. I mean, the sport is about safety.
Now, so far, we've only had you know, a couple of the handful of the fights this evening make it through to the second round.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you're coming out, you're seeing explosive fighters out here. Again, both Cooper and Khacha are explosive fighters, but Cooper has shown he's been able to weather the storm.
Indeed, sorry, I have to correct myself there. This is actually the first fight to go through to the second round. Mitchell and Appleby managed to get through to the break, but Appleby was unable to continue. Here we have a replay of Khacha in that mount, landing some hard strikes against Cooper there. Got him against.
You saw that right hand come straight between his guard, and then he drops the elbow right in the middle of his face.
With the second round here, Khacha moving around.
I think we can expect to see the same thing again. Once Mohammed feels ready, he'll go for the takedown, and again a nice double leg takedown.
He dropped under the jab of Cooper.
And he immediately goes after passing guard, controls the legs and tries to push Cooper up against the cage. Cooper using the cage rather well, though, to avoid having his guard passed.
Now, this time Cooper is tying up the arms of Khacha, so he is unable to strike as effectively. Obviously using his legs to keep the range, so Khacha cannot reach down, but still managing to last a few blows. Cooper landed a few blows from the bottom there. He managed to get a small back fist and going for the heel hook, Khacha. He's looking for that submission. That is an extremely painful submission to get caught. The problem with that submission is you don't feel the pain immediately until the knee simply pops. Cooper managing to slip out.
Khacha, as we saw against Alex D'Souza, when he found it wasn't going exactly as he planned, he pushes away and starts again. Straight back onto his feet.
High kick there by Cooper, but Khacha just dropping his head slightly. Do you think Khacha looks tired here?
He does look a little tired. He's not as explosive as he was in the first round. We saw him try to pull guard there. Not at all what you'd expect.
Certainly not. And Cooper sprawling on top of him. And now he's got that top position. He's dropping some hard shots down to the stricken fighter of Khacha. Khacha driving for that single leg, but he's still trapped on the bottom.
Again, excellent defense against the single leg. A nice sprawl by Andy, keeping his legs out of the way.
Now Andy moving round to turn to the back, and he's putting in 1 or 2 strikes to the head of Khacha. Pinning his arm with his leg. Very nice technique there.
And he's going to look more for the ground and pound here. I don't expect him to go for a submission.
Certainly, Khacha rolling out into guard, but again, turtles up.
Finding himself turtles with Andy above him.
And it's not a particularly good position to be in for him. You know, when you've got somebody's weight pressing down on you like that, it is actually very tiring.
Especially somebody like Andy Cooper, who hits so hard, and from that position, you're in an excellent position to start striking.
Now, Khacha will have to work here. If Grant Waterman, the referee, sees that you know, the fighter is not, he's defending himself, but he's not actively trying to escape from that position and taking unanswered punishment, he will stop that fight. Khacha needs to work from that position. The punches may not be getting through, but the fighters, the referees do have to be very aware of fighter safety.
Well, it's what we call intelligent defense. Covering up your head is not enough. It's not an intelligent defense. So he has to actively avoid the strikes or try to change position.
Now Cooper happy to be on top for a change. He spent the whole of the first round on his back underneath Khacha.
Well, he's managed to put the right hook in. He's got good control of the legs, and it looks like he's going to try and take Khacha's back. Well,
he's got the back now, and he's got both hooks in. It's a very good position for Cooper.
He continues striking,
stretching him out, flattening him out. He's landed some hard strikes to the side of Khacha's head. Khacha popping out to the side to avoid that, but this is a very, very dangerous position for Khacha to be in. As you can see, his hips are up, his legs aren't actually touching the ground at that point, and you know, he's flattened out. He manages to bring them back up.
Well, now we've got a complete reversal of fortunes here compared to what we had in the first round. This time we've got Andy on Khacha's back, looking for that same choke that Khacha didn't manage to sink in.
He's looking to get that rear naked, but Khacha does seem to have his chin in the crook of the elbow, so that will defend against that. Cooper needs to lift that chin and get his arm underneath it, but he manages to sink it in. Khacha taps out in the second round. We see a submission victory for Andy Cooper.
Well, so far we're 1-1 then for France and the UK. An excellent performance from Khacha, but unfortunately he seemed to blow his load in the both
fighters. I mean, Cooper was in serious trouble there for the first round. He was absolutely being battered by Khacha. As you can see, his face is heavily marked. Khacha extremely disappointed. You know, he was very tired in that second round, and he simply could not get out from underneath Cooper.
Well, Cooper showed a lot of heart.
It could well be the experience factor of Cooper there shining through. Obviously, he's had a lot of hard fights, and he knows how to ride perilous positions too. And I think he did so extremely well there. He managed to limit the amount of damage he was taking in the first round. Come back, totally reversed the feature of the second round. And as you can see there, sinking in that choke. So Cooper the victor. You can see his right eye has some swelling on it. Khacha very disappointed with that loss. Khacha certainly has a bright future ahead of him, though. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt in that. For this young man to come out and show such a fantastic performance before, you know, basically gassing and, you know, falling prey to that extremely impressive fighter of Cooper.
Absolutely.